This week, we've had a couple of different reports come out that show Illinois continues to lose population, while the governor and Democrats from Illinois are asking the federal government for more federal tax funds for the state of Illinois. A letter that some Democratic members of Illinois' delegation, including Senator Tammy Duckworth and Senator Dick Durbin, sent says the U.S. Census's population estimates for Illinois are actually upward because they announced that they undercounted Illinois by nearly 2% for the 2020 census. And you've got the Democrats ultimately saying that means Illinois is now roughly around 13 million residents, the highest the state's ever recorded, they say. Well, that's not what the U.S. Census is saying. On their website, they still have Illinois at about 12.8, 12.7 million around there. So that 2% undercount isn't necessarily translating into revised census estimates. But we've got a couple of other things that have come out this week that seems to run absolutely contrary to what the governor and what Democratic members of Illinois' congressional delegation are trying to put out there. And that's that we're not growing. We're actually shrinking. And in particular, we're shrinking by two different reports, more than 100,000 people. So this morning, the U.S. Census lifted an embargo on their latest population estimates, city by city by city. All right. So I had a lot of spreadsheets open yesterday. All right. And I'll just kind of show you a little bit here of some of the spreadsheet action that I've got going on. But this is the annual estimates of residence population for incorporated areas in Illinois. Now, the data that they put out was every state, every city, village in that state. So you've just got, I don't even know how many lines of data, but it was data all across the spectrum, right? I mean, it's population in, population out, total population, the percentage change. So again, here is just some of it. And what we found was looking at this that was released this morning. When you combine all of the cities' additions and subtractions for the U.S. Census, you find out that Illinois has lost 104,000 people. All right, 104,000 people when you combine all the additions and subtractions from all of the cities and towns in Illinois. So there's nearly 1,300 cities and towns. And Illinois, when you combine all of that, yeah, there's some big winners, but there's some even bigger losers. So by total population, the top 10 gains in Illinois were in Yorkville, which added almost 1,000. Montgomery added almost 907. Champaign, 907. Oswego added 605. Palatine added 598. Romeoville added 590. Manhattan, 505. Pengree Grove, 342. And Winfield gained 310. So those are just some of the gains, but the losses, which far exceeded the total amount of gains by 104,000 people, meaning 104,000 people fewer in Illinois than the year before. And this is from July 1st, 2020 to July 1st, 2021. So the 10 Illinois cities with the greatest losses were Chicago at 45,175 people fewer than the year before. Cicero, 1,700 fewer. Arlington Heights, 1,377 fewer. Schaumburg, 1,300 fewer. Evanston, 1,300 fewer. Palatine, Skokie, and several others. Peoria lost about 1,126. Oak Park, over 1,000 people lost. So those are just some of the losses that there are. What about some of the areas here locally? If you want to pull them up here, let's see if we can go ahead and have this particular line sorted by A to Z. How many people did Springfield lose? So we're gonna go through this spreadsheet live on air. 1,300 different line items. So let's get to Springfield. All right, LMNOPQRS. Come on, Springfield. All right, so how did Springfield do? I'll tell you, South Jacksonville lost 24 people. Where else? Springfield, Illinois lost 851 people in the past year from July 1st to July 1st. 851 fewer people in the city of Springfield. What about Sherman? Sherman's a pretty growing place, right? I mean, surely they've added people. What about Sherman? Sherman, Illinois lost 32 people in the past year. Let's go all the way up to Chatham. How's Chatham looking? And again, you can find all of this at the article I put together for the Center Square. Go to thecentersquare.com/Illinois. Or you can find it on my Twitter page. Illinois Census combined lost 104,000 people in 2021. And you can download the spreadsheet for yourself and cycle through all these numbers. But let's look at Chatham here. Chatham, Illinois, in the past year. And here we go. The village of Chatham gained 16 people. So, you can see kind of just that anecdotally here in the area. The big city of Springfield lost some people. Small village Chatham gained some people. Small village in Sherman lost some people. But altogether, lost 104,000 people. But that's not the only one, the only report that came out. Another report that came out this week on Tuesday was migration data from the Internal Revenue Service, and that found about 101,000 fewer people in the state of Illinois based off tax filings. And with that, $8.5 billion in lost taxable income. I talked with Ted Dabrowski, who analyzed a lot of that data, and I cross-referenced it myself and looked at the numbers, and indeed, the migration data from the IRS shows that Illinois is losing population. Here's Ted Dabrowski.
Well, look, what we found out is the same trend that's been going on for a long time. We're one of the biggest losers of our people and our wealth to other states. Illinois lost a net 100,000 residents to other states, and the net loss of the taxable income we could have taxed was $8.5 billion. Both of those were the third worst in the country after California and New York. So we're in a really bad spot.
So looking at this, you've got
yes, this is the latest.
Where all they're coming from? Where are they moving to? If we've got that kind of outbound migration, what's going on here?
Oh, well, the big winners are Florida, Texas, of course, the big winners that they keep growing, and there's others who are winning, like Idaho on a percentage basis. They're growing a lot, but Florida is the big winner. They're winning all the people, and they're winning all the wealth that those people bring with them.
Now, this data is just one set of data. Of course, you've got other data that's out there, but when it comes to inbound and outbound migration of taxpayers, people who are filing tax returns, this IRS data that indicates 101,000 fewer people in Illinois and $8.5 billion fewer in adjusted gross income. What does this ultimately mean?
Well, yeah, this is, I think, the best sign of economic health or economic problems, and that's, are you winning the battle for people? Are you winning the battle for wealth? Florida just continues to grow with people investment, and we're at the other end. Us in New York are on the other end. We're losing our people, and we're losing wealthy people. The people we lose make a lot more money than the people we're bringing into the state. So on a net basis, we're losing people, and we're bringing in poorer people.
And that actually, I looked at those numbers, and it's rather fascinating because when you look at the data, it shows that incomes of people who make more than $200,000, there were 13,900 filers that came into the state of Illinois, while bringing with them $2.9 billion. 35,000 left the state, taking $8.5 billion with them. That's a net loss just for that 200,000 plus income. That's a net loss of $5.6 billion. But the income level from $25,000 to $50,000 had the largest number of people leaving and taking with them a net loss of $338,000. So you've got this impacting income earners across the spectrum. But Illinois is not growing, according to IRS data, according to the latest U.S. Census data. But that's got the likes of Governor J.B. Pritzker saying Illinois is growing and demanding that there be more federal tax dollars. Here's Ted Dabrowski again.
Yeah, the governor is painting he's painting an illusion of an Illinois that's much better off financially. ignoring the fact that we got almost $200 billion in federal aid for COVID. And now he's trying to paint a better picture of population when, in fact, we've got one of the worst population and outmigration problems in the country.
I imagine we'll hear about this because it is an election year and a lot of the back and forth about population increase or decrease and what it ultimately means. Does it reflect upon Illinois' policies that are in place, or is it just because people want warmer weather? Of course, we'll hear all of that and more. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. All right, let's take a look at